Hi everyone, I just get this anger right. It's Jason Pegler here. Just want to hope everyone is having a great day with their mental health and their well-being and everything. And have you been smiling today for 20 minutes? Well, you got 20 minutes to smile. Would be really good if you could. All at once would be even better if you got the time. Okay, so I'm here today to talk to everyone about a 3-day event. I'm really excited about this event. It's the Chipmunka Publishing Marketing Implementation Program. So what are you going to get in these 3 days? Well, the question is not what are you going to get really, it's what are you not going to get. So you're going to get 1 day writing and product development. I'm just looking here to make sure I've got it here. So 1 day writing and product development, 1 day self-promotion, and 1 day mentoring specific to your niche positioning. And what I'm going to do as well, because I'm really excited about this, is I'm going to throw in along with it, some mental health empowerment, of course, which is how to improve your own mental health and improve your potential so you can help more people and everything like that. And it's really, really important I do that. And then with an extra little bit of just a few tasters of some unlimited confidence to live the life of your dreams. So, I'm really, really excited about all of this. It's just fantastic because in 2001 I spent 18 months going around the whole country to about 150 different mental health conferences, met everyone, all the big charities, and then I've done TV, national TV over 100 times, and I've done interviews all around the world. And I'm really passionate about meeting people. And even when I won the New Statesman's Young Social Entrepreneur of the Year in 2005, I was really into networking, meeting lots of other social entrepreneurs and their businesses, listening about their businesses, seeing how I could help them improve their organisations. And for the last, for the last 5-6 years, even longer than that, I've been really focused on growing Chipmunka, publishing more people, giving more people a voice, new technologies, things like that. And as a person, I'm a very sociable person. I always smile at people when I'm walking down the road quite often. I really do like to help people where I can. If I see someone's a bit down or something, try and give them some personal development and even with strangers I don't know, And I'm just naturally very, very, very chatty and open. I'm an outgoing person, that's my nature. So to have so many people who are authors, who have shown great faith in me and my company and my vision and Chipmunka, and giving people with mental illness a voice and growing to the next level, it is really rewarding and sometimes it's very challenging, of course. And like any passion in life, it's has peaks and troughs. You really push it all the time, and then you can have a little dip every now and then. You can lose confidence and stuff. But with the neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, I've been studying every day for the last 11 years and continue to do so. It does give me the potential to reach out more. And I'm so excited about this 3-day seminar because I'll get to meet people that I haven't met before, and some of those people I'll know already by email, by Facebook, by Twitter, by YouTube, by telephone conversations. Some I might have met briefly, or once or twice or 3 times, and it's good to touch base and spend kind of more quality, more focused time in a way that I know that I can help. And then it's really exciting to think how much we can achieve in 3 days. And with this 3-day seminar, what I'm going to offer as well is, for those of you who decide that it's for you, is that I'll offer 30 days online support as well to everyone who attends. And I think that is really important, to clarify where you're going and the growth period. And that's where you can ask me something very specific about your strategy, and then I can come up with an answer and help you. So, and that's going to be me. That's providing that. That's the the plan. So, and that that's something I will guarantee. Okay. It's not going to be Mickey Mouse advising you, or someone I've trained, or something I've outsourced. It's going to be me who's advising you from those very specific 3 days, from the exercises that you've done, the things that you've learned, what I've learned about you and what you're able to achieve as well. And it's just going to be great. Of course, it's for people who may have only just heard about Chipmunk, who want to be published and want to make the most out of their opportunity, and who want to become a social entrepreneur, who want to be self-employed business, who want to grow their own personal development, who want to make a difference. It's really, really exciting, and it is going to be a fantastic event. And it will be in central London, and it will be in Canary Wharf as well. It's just a really inspiring place to work and think, Canary Wharf. It's a whole, there's a lot of trade going on. Funniest thing I find in Canary Wharf is I'm being myself now, because this is how I dress. Often I wear t-shirts and jackets and things like that. What's really cool is, I think what's really, really, I want to be really, really, really myself in these videos. I'm comfortable by being myself. I could be putting on a suit and a shirt and tie and giving a big sales pitch and everything, but that's not naturally me. That's not who I am. I can do that, and I'm very good at doing that. But like I said, that's not actually me. So I just want to be myself and inspire you to make a difference. So if you just really think about your mental health experience, whatever it is, whether it's depression, self-harm, manic depression, anorexia, OCD, schizoaffective disorder, autism, Asperger's syndrome, caring for somebody, loss of a loved one. If it's something mild or if it's something severe, these 3 days will really they'll accelerate you, act as a huge catalyst to getting over those hurdles emotionally if you haven't done. If you have, then that's great, but there's no harm in pushing it even further, because you can always, I think every day you grow as a person. Tony Robbins says it so well, that you can choose to either grow as a person or shrink every day. Like, life isn't static. It's like, it's an ongoing experience every day that you really want to push yourself to be better and to help as many people as you can, to make the most out of your own life and to serve as many people. Now, you're listening to this video because you probably have a burning desire to sort out your own head in some way because of something that's happened to you, which is like the whole world in many ways, but in particular it's a real frisson for you listening. Or it may be that you really feel that you've done that fairly well, but you want to take it to the next level, and you really want to, you can help people, and you have the heart and the mind to do that, but you want to take it that step further. So in the strategies, in day one, I'll help you with your writing and developing, so you feel comfortable writing more books, and so you feel you're more focused on writing like more positive titles and more marketable titles. Because even though Chipmunk is the mental health publisher, kind of mental illness and mental health memoirs have this kind of derogatory view in the press, like misery memoirs and things like that. That's not what this is about, really. We're really about turning mental illness in well-being. And I thought of rebranding the company 5-6 years ago, and I had like the best branding agency in the world helping me pro bono. They actually invented branding 150 years ago, and had these huge offices in like right next to Harrods, and I was going in and had a team of like 20 people helping, and I've got this rebrand. I will have it now. I could switch it on. It would be quite complicated to do it. But then the more and more I was researching, I'm always researching business books, business leaders, usually American things, I have to say. I'm really focused on anyone who's made a difference in the world economy, like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, all these, Google, these amazing companies, Facebook. One thing I like about Zuckerberg is he doesn't wear shirts and ties, he's just himself, just wears a hooded top. I mean, I think that's really natural. And how Facebook, it really does have a heart, because if someone's not nice to you on there, they can, they get out of view, they disappear. So I think it's good for the mental health in the world. It has great potential anyway, So, and I'm a big fan of this streaming, the way that the whole world is becoming more interconnected, and we're all evolving together in our world community, in a live community now. But the first day is, okay, we're going to help your writing and your confident in writing, but we're also going to help your product development, because it's great if you can write ebooks and paperbacks, but that's not going to make you a living. I know that, because it's just not really going to make you a living, unless, even if you're J.K. Rowling, you still have to go out and promote yourself, or Stephen King, you have to promote yourself, and they get paid for speaking and things like that. So, and lots of other endorsements and things like that. So what I'm talking about is product development. So you may have an idea that's really good for a book, and it's quite a positive book, and you think, well, that's good, and I can give you the ideas and the strategies of how to turn that into a manual, a training manual, a home study course, a toolkit. Then I can even give you an insight into ways that you can make that even better. For example, that would be developing your own mastermind groups, how to do your own seminars and make sure you do it correctly, and getting your own products in place, CD, DVDs, MP3s, videos, getting onto iTunes, things that are really crucial in growing your brand and developing your writing as well. Because if you're confident writing a training manual and filming yourself and recording a DVD and even CD product at the same time and filming yourself on YouTube and things like that. Sorry about that. Then if you're really comfortable with everything like that, you can really grow yourself. Somebody a bit stressed out there. So if you're really comfortable growing yourself, then as a person, and that's really good. So if you have the confidence to write a DVD, a CD, a training manual, something like that, then writing books will become easier. And there's some really prolific writers out there. We've published this Japanese guy he's written over like 90 books or something like that. And there's quite a few people who have 50, even 100 books published. Some people are really prolific, like Brian Tracy. He writes 4 books a year, and everything that he's written, audio programs, books I've heard, they're all absolutely brilliant. He's just a complete natural. He's totally absorbed in bettering himself every day and improving himself every day in his techniques and everything. So that's in day 1, and of course the 3 days there's some similarity. So with the second day, you're really focused on, and what I'm going to show you is how to market yourself, because not everyone can write a book, but there's a lot of people who can write a book. Okay, let's say 1 in 100 people will actually write a book, and then let's say, well, with these days you can say, well, realistically, how many people are going to get that published? I don't know, 1 in 100 will get that published. 1 in 1,000 by a big publisher or something, traditional publisher. Maybe it's 1 in 10,000. 1 in 1,000, 1 in 1,000 by a small publisher. And then 1 in 100 by a small publisher, and then even out of the 100 people that write it, even only 10%, if that, are going to self-publish it. So probably even less than that. I mean, I don't know exactly. So think of the potential that's within all of us to write a book. Then think of the next stage. Okay, well, you've got to the first stage already, or you have the opportunity. You may have written a book already, and you may even already be published by me, or you know that you have the opportunity, if you have a mental illness or if you had a mental health experience, that if you can get something to me, then I'll give you the confidence so that I can publish it. If you can just be focused enough for a time and stop self-manifesting in some way, just jump out that negative mindset. Or you may want to give back, you may be perfectly fine, but you have a vision to help to contribute to the mental health community, to add to the mental health debate, to empower service users, survivors around the world. And then you get to that stage, which is great, fantastic, it's an achievement. Even just thinking about it and acting on it is really good. You get to a stage that you have your book out. Okay, well, that's great. Well, then, even then, only 1% of people know how to market themselves. And I'll tell you something else as well, that only 1% of companies know how to market themselves anyway, because 99% of websites only have a 1% conversion rate. Most companies don't even do any marketing because they don't have the confidence. And then even if they do, then most of them are doing the wrong kind of marketing. So I'm totally into marketing. It's the most important thing every day in the company's history for the next 50 years. It's the most important thing is to get the marketing so that we can serve you guys better, serve the authors better, and serve people with mental illness better. So these 3 days, what they do is the whole idea is to super catapult you into a marketing expert in 3 days. Is hard to do, but someone who's really aware of all the marketing strategies that can be used, and then if you take action on them immediately, then you're going to get better and better, because it's all about taking action. You can when I met James Caan, he's just really quite a cool guy. He's so focused on strategy implementation, because you can read all the marketing material that you want. Most people will read the wrong marketing material by people who talk about marketing but aren't successful themselves, aren't rich, super successful themselves. Okay, but some people will read the greats like Ted Nicholas, the greatest individual author selling material ever, Jay Abraham, marketing genius, Dan Kennedy, these marketing greats. You know, in the UK you have Peter Thompson, Jonathan Jay, Dan Bradbury, Andy Harrington. There's some real up and coming people as well. So, and then think of any great company. I mean, look at, going back to the rebrand, the reason why I didn't rebrand was for 2 reasons. One, because if I changed the words of the company, okay, it would grow quicker, because I would attract a lot of people who were essentially have maybe a higher standard of living and a better mental health, because we'd be publishing a lot of personal development literature, and we'd kind of be a bit like Nightingale Conant and things like that. So that would be really inspiring and everything and great. But what I felt was that if I did that, I would, if someone is searching in the internet and they're kind of, you know, really in a bad place, suicidal, or they feel really isolated, they might not find Chipmunker. So that's why I didn't want to rebrand, and they'd search in different keywords and everything, and you know, they wouldn't find necessarily the help that I want to find, the people I want to help. And I really do want to help people who have a mental illness and want to do something about it. I think that's really important, because then we can have greater ambassadors. But I still feel really concerned about people who are really isolated, socially excluded, who might be watching this video in 3-4 o'clock in the morning because they can't sleep, or things like that. So there's a real message out there that I care about anyone who's had a mental health experience, and you have to have it within you to snap yourself out of it. Somehow you have to have the mental strength to get yourself out of it. So that's one reason why I didn't rebrand. The other reason is because the greatest British business entrepreneur over the last 30 years, Richard Branson, who I've read all his books, I've been really inspired by his brand from as long as I can remember, from like the age of 9 or 10. And he says, don't ever rebrand. Okay, Branson has a great brand, he doesn't need to rebrand. But I think there's a truth in that, because it shows consistency. So that's why we still have the Chipmunk logo that we had all along, and we're serving people in, you know, by really giving them a voice in that way, you know. And so you have the 3 days. The first day is the writing product development. The second day is the self-promotion. There's so many techniques that I've used that are so simple that even though I've write them on the website and I explain to people by email, and I have a support worker who explains to people how it should be done, there's no substitute for having 3 days of conversations about this. You're going to learn so much, and just take as many notes as you can. It is so important to take notes. Just immerse yourself in notes. Some research that's often quoted that in seminars that I go to is, if you take notes and you don't follow up afterwards and read them, then obviously you're going to take in less. But if you take no notes at all, then a month later you'll only remember 10% of what you've listened to. If you take notes, then you're going to remember 50%. And then if you reread those notes within a day or two, and then several times within that month, you're going to remember most of it. And then you can remember it, but then you have to implement as well. You have to apply it. So then you have to come up with daily goals that are big enough to get you out of bed in the morning and make you want to be motivated, but not so big that they're going to terrify you and you think, oh, I can't do that. So it's like, set yourself some amazing, huge goals, and then set daily goals step by step to get there. Paul McKenna has a really good way of explaining that. Brian Tracy's is a great way as well. They're more kind of complicated as well. It depends. If you're naturally a really energetic person, then maybe go for the Paul McKenna ones. And if you're kind of quite, balanced person, quite calm, then go with Paul McKenna. But I'm just giving you an example that there is real hope in marketing. So we're going to help you write successful books and everything. I'm going to help you with that, and your products, and looking at getting your products out and making them really cool. Which that is really, really passionate about that, because there's going to be some great information. They're going to get into a state of flow, the zone as it's called in sports. Really going to get into that state and that flow, and I'm really, really excited about that. And then the day's marketing, we'll be doing exercises that will bring out of you, and I'm really interested. I'm going to be interested in what it is that you're doing as well. And then day 3 is going to get in more and more detail, very, very specific. So it's about looking at your own particular mental health experience, your expertise, and how you're going to position yourself as a worldwide leader in that niche, as the worldwide leader in that niche, because you'll be using marketing strategies that other people in your niche won't be using. These are mental health empowerment strategies and Chipmunk Publishing implementation strategies. So I'm using all of the marketing and business knowledge that I've developed over a long period of time, putting it all together. And the more you give, the more specific you are, the more passionate, the more ambitious you are, the more you'll get out of this program. I guarantee it. And I could have made it longer. I could have made it 7 days, but I think 3 days that's your concentration. You can really concentrate for 3 days. Also, it gives you time to implement as well, because after those 3 days, you used to have the time to implement. And I realised how precious your time is. So I realised that you have family commitments, you have work commitments, and you have commitments to yourself. You have emotional commitments. You have life commitments of fitness, psychological, spiritual, emotional commitments to yourself, commitments to friends, in commitments with relationship with children, with mums, dads, parents, grandparents, looking after relatives, caring, all these things. Feel free to bring someone else as well. I think it's really important. So let's say you have a son or a daughter who you're worried about, and they're interested, they may have something, I don't know, undiagnosed, or you may know they're not well, or they may be diagnosed but they don't feel like they're really getting anywhere, or your relationship with them isn't where you want it to be. And if they're interested in writing or marketing, or you think they like to be self-employed because they find it difficult to get a job or something, then this is really for you. This is really, really for you. So, and for them, so you can like book 2, and the momentum that you'll get together from that is brilliant, because what you'll have is, you not only will you like you're going yourself to something, but you have someone that when after the event you can take away. So I encourage everyone who attends a seminar to keep in touch with each other. I think that's really important. So, because you'll have a peer group of people who are growing, and you know, find someone in the 3 days that is really that you have common ground with, that's really, you've got something in common with, that you can like coach each other and mentor each other, consult each other in the future on an ongoing basis. Give yourself timelines. Say, okay, I'll get back to you by the end of the month. Then we'll have done this, we'll have done that. Keep in touch by email, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, LinkedIn, Foursquare, whatever it is. That's crucial in growing yourself. And you've got me for 30 days afterwards, so think carefully, what can I ask Jason in these 30 days that can make a difference to my business? Because for those 30 days after the event, I'll give you guys priority over everyone else, because you've made a commitment to pay for the seminar. So I think it's only right that I'll give you priority. It's really an honour to talk to you guys now, men and ladies all around the world, whatever country you're in. And please feel free to leave comments and think about 3 days. I don't know how many days you have spare in a year. There's 365 days in a year. How many days a year do you have when you're not doing everything at work? If you have kids, like I've got 2 kids, then there's not many. But what can you do in three days? 3 days with me. It's going to be great. It's going to be a happy 3 days as well, because I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be realistic as well. So I'm going to challenge you, and I think that's the right thing to do. It's not going to be a 3-day to explain, look, this is in 3 days you can become a multi-millionaire by writing and promoting. It's not that easy. You've got to push yourself every day. You've got to keep doing it every day. I've got to keep doing it every day. Who says that better than anyone? Phil Taylor, the darts player. Look at that guy. He's won the World Championships way more than anyone, and he's still, every day he's going, yeah, I've got to do more every day. I mean, one time when he won the World Championships, it was hilarious. He won it convincingly, and they said, oh, so what are you doing? You're going to take a break? And he said, yeah, I'm going to go on a holiday, go on a cruise with my wife. I'm going to take the dartboards with me. I'm going to take the dartboard with me on this holiday. Like, the guy never stops. He just never stops. That's why he's the most successful sportsman over the last 20 plus years, 20 more than that. That's why he is the most successful, because he never stops. He keeps pushing himself forward every single day. And this is really important as well. If you've written one book or two books or three books or none, there's no limit to how many you can write, and there's no limit to how many I can publish either, really. If you can write 10 a year, I can publish 10 a year. Because the bigger the company gets, I'm just slightly adjusting it so that we can publish and give a voice to more people. That's the philosophy, right? And I want to be at a stage where I want to live and to see the day that we have 1 million authors. That is a driving force within me. And there's such a long way to go. But I'm sure that we'll get there. The company will get there. And can you imagine let's say that we have 10,000 of those who are hugely successful ambassadors and the world leaders in their niche. Can you imagine the difference to the world that we're making? Can you imagine the difference to the consciousness of the planet and how we're making the world a happier place? I can feel my heart like ticking now, like just with the, gratitude really. And these 3 days, so think of the third day now, okay? So you think, wow, I feel more confident writing. I got my, even know what I'm going to write. This is going to be a home study course. This is a training manual. And then you're thinking, wow, I could market myself in, how could I market myself, Jason? Well, I'll give you some examples. So, do you want to know how I got on national BBC radio and television over 100 times? It was quite easy. It took a long time and determination, and I was just, to me, it was something that I expected and I wanted to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I expected it to happen, and it was just every hurdle I came across, it was just another way of working out how to get it done. So I started off with my own book and promoting a company. And that got some coverage, quite a bit of coverage, and then when you have more authors, get more coverage. What I did is really position myself as an expert in lots of different niches. So how did I do that? Well, in the beginning, I had my own list that I would just grow and then email the journalists and then send press releases out, email everyone at once, and people would pick up, and I would say I'm always available for interview. And I meant it, I was always available for interviews, 7 days a week, always. I still am available for interview a lot of the time. And that was the beginnings of the stepping stones. But then I thought, okay, so all the mental health charities, they all have press office departments. And if I position myself as a bipolar expert with all of these mental health charities, then I'm happy to talk about the charities because I respect what they're doing. Like in the UK, Mind Rethink saying, for example, there's lots of others. AIM was quite big at one time. It's time for change and things, So have been. So then, what I would do. So I'd position myself in that area. Then I would be articulate on the phone and talk about what the journalist wanted me to talk about. Crucially, in the best way that I possibly could, and be passionate about their article and what they're doing. Then after the interview is broadcast, phone them up and thank them and appreciate the journalists for writing what they've done. You'd be amazed how many people don't really do that. And be really grateful that they believed in me and believe in me as well. And that's one way. And then keep the contact and say, look, I'm available to speak in these certain areas. So in what ways have I got on television? Well, bipolar, manic depression. Then when cannabis was in the news, I write about cannabis in my book, and how a Can of Madness in my first book. I write about how when I was 14 I started taking cannabis, and eventually I was taking it every day, and then I went on to LSD, speed, ecstasy, and bipolar at 17, and then managed to sort my head out through writing and publishing many years later, and neuro-linguistic programming, positive thinking, personal development, all this kind of stuff. My point is that what was really, really made a difference was being aware that it wasn't my book that was important about me. What was important about me was the things that I'd experienced, and that I could speak about them. And every now and then, each of those things is in the news. So cannabis alone, I've spoken on national radio about cannabis, and if you include television, I'd say about 40 times. And that just came from one email that I saw that just said, "Oh, Jason, assumed a Can of Madness was about cannabis." Really, to be honest, and it's not what it's about. It's part of, it's a little part of what it's about. And then, I've been on television talking about mental health treatment. When they had the bill to Mental Health Parliament, I positioned myself there. Went down to Westminster as one of the main service users to speak to, who can talk about that, and who can talk about how we want a voice and how we want to protect our human rights. Some other cool people, talking about just as driven. And why did they get coverage? Because they were really driven about it, and they're really passionate about it, and they could articulate it as well. And I've been on the radio talking about as a rap artist, and TV. I've been on TV talking about and the radio talking about being a social entrepreneur, being a business owner, service user, bipolar sufferer, former bipolar sufferer. I've done interviews on personal development, happiness, NLP, mental health empowerment. So on publishing, on mental health publishing, on media, on how having a disability, on how using a computer has helped my disability. There's just so many angles. It's never ending. If you can just keep thinking about it, there's so many angles that you can position yourselves in. It's ridiculous. It's never ending. And all the BBC contacts, I just kept bringing up the BBC Health Unit, leaving messages. People would never answer the phone. 1 in 20 times someone would answer the phone. And it depends how you say as well. You need to be really confident when you speak, and assume you know what you're talking about. You need to be ready to send an email there and then. When you send an email, you need to have your phone number on it. You need to act as though you know what you're talking about as well. With the BBC Health Unit, I just kept ringing it, and it got to a stage where everyone knew who I was, because it's this guy who just keeps ringing up all the time, leaving messages. And then I got on once with them directly, and I did a good job, and then they asked me back. And each time I was grateful, and I'll say I'm happy to talk about it whenever you want. And for quite a few years now, it's been more important to me. I'm even happier when I see an author on telly and in the newspapers than I am when I'm there myself. Absolutely, I get such, I feel so pleased about it, and I know they get a buzz out of it too because I've done it so many times as well. And I know the recognition, it makes you feel important. It makes you feel like you're making a difference, and you get feedback as well. You get people who see you and they like what you've done and things like that. I'm also going to advise you how to promote yourself through social networks, of course, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and even things that you're not even aware of yet, maybe. So, and general trends of how people are more connected online and everything like that, and how the world is streaming live TV channels, how you do that, live webinars, the ways to do that. It's so excited about this. I'm just getting more and more excited about it. I wish it was tomorrow. Really excited about this. What else is in store for you during these 3 days? Well, I think there's a real sense of family, belonging, identity. The great thing is that we all have something in common. Human beings all have something in common. We all know what it's like to have ups and downs every day. But those of you who are listening to this video, we have something a little bit more in common because we've had mental health experiences that are a little bit more intense than most people, or we've cared for someone in that manner. I'm sure the majority of people listening it will be more. Usually it's 90% of people who contact me who have had their own mental health experiences. But of course, and that is the driving force, but of course if you're caring for somebody as well, then that gives you your own mental health experiences that you might not be focusing on or aware on. So whilst it is really driven towards giving people a voice with mental illness, and I'm happy for a carer to bring someone as well, because I've benefited from that in the past. But for those of you real pioneers in service user movement, that will be the voice that's on display. Have no worries about that, I guarantee it, because that's why I'm doing it. And what else can I say about this event? What else can I say about this event? Oh, for those of you who attend the 3 days, there are going to be some special bonuses. There's going to be some amazing bonuses. And I'm not actually going to tell you what those bonuses are. Because actually, to be honest, I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to throw in yet. But I'm going to give you great value. So if you've really, by dedicating some of your hard-earned cash, let's face it, to attend these 3 days with me, or some of your, some really managed, something that you could spend your money on something else, quite frankly. I'm going to give you some bonuses. I think the value of the 3 days. I think in day one, by the end of day one, you'll be so glad. I feel that like by the end of day one, you'll feel like you've got your value out of it. Absolutely. So I'm going to give you so much information and also ways of implementing it. I'm not just going to give you a lot of theory, because everything that I give you, I'll have done myself. That's a real deal. So I'm not coming up with theory saying that oh yes, you could do this and do that, and I've read it out of the textbook. Everything I'm going to give you, I will have done myself. So if I'm talking about, writing about something, or writing something in a particular way, an ebook, a paperback, or a home study course, or a training manual, or something like that. By the time the seminar starts, you'll have 3 days. Everything that I'll be talking about during these 3 days, I'll have delivered. So, it's videoing on YouTube, or growing your Facebook presence, your Twitter presence, your LinkedIn presence. If it's how to do your own CD, DVD, products, MP3, how to put things onto iBooks, ways of how to do your own mastermind groups, how to get national, international TV, radio coverage, all this. I'll have done everything I'm talking about. I think that's really why you should attend. Because if you want to do the same things and you want to do it, think about if you want to do the same things in the mental health arena and you want to do it as quickly as possible, then really that is you're listening to the right person. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm really good at doing it. And I would blow my own trumpet, but I don't have one on me. I don't know how I never knew how to play a trumpet, actually. I just find it really difficult to play guitar a little bit. So think of all the ways as well that you can write. So you can write in autobiography, novels, memoirs, poetry, film scripts, selection of short stories, selected works, philosophy, psychology. I'd like to see more contributions on the mental health of the world, the mental health movement, even kind of like constitutions and things like that would be quite interesting. I think we need more of that. Then what else can we have in there? I just want to give you an hours of content in this video, and then I'll leave you alone, I promise, but only for a little bit, because I'll be back talking about this, because I want people to come. I want to meet you. I want people to come to get noise, get the most out of it. What else can we put in this just amazing 3 days? I think what you'll get is everything that I know that I think is important is going to come out. So I'm not going to hold anything back. I don't believe in holding anything back. I think that's really important to me. So I want to give you the best of me and absolutely immerse myself in this 3-day program. And you'll get all my knowledge, all my experiences, implementations, all my golden nuggets, all my platinum nuggets, all my everything I know. I'm just gonna share with you, and the exercises that I design are going to be tailored for you, serving yourself, your own confidence, your own self-esteem, so you can unleash your own potential and maximize your own potential, but also give you strategies and help your conscious and unconscious mind to really unlock the marketing genius within you, because there is one. You just don't know about it. I like that, the marketing genius within you, because there's one. Everyone listening, wherever you are in the world, there's definitely a marketing genius within you. And in these 3 days, I'm going to make you realise that it's there. Okay, sure, you have to take the responsibility. You've got to implement it yourself afterwards. But the great thing about it is that as I own a publishing company on mental illness, you've got a great partner. You've got a great business partner in developing your own niche and becoming self-employed, successful entrepreneur. So let's face it, you can run your own mastermind groups. You can run your own webinars. What I'm saying is, if you give me the time, then, I mean, you can see it. You go to Chipmunka, CHIPMUNKA.com, chipmunka with an A.com. You'll see all the people I've published. Just go into the shop, you'll see it's there everywhere. You go on Amazon, you can order from bookshops around the world. You go to iBooks, Google Books. It's there, and I can publish you as often as you want, and however ambitious you are, I can keep pushing you forward. And I'm not going to push you if you don't want to be pushed. I think that's important as well, because each person has their own comfort zone. So, but in the 3 days, you're going to get way out of your comfort zone because you've come here at the time. So I'm going to give you, but the 3 days, I'm going to take you out of your comfort zone, and then you decide by strategy implementation. Then you can really decide if how far that you want to push yourself. I'm so excited about this event. I'm just buzzing about it. It's going to be fantastic. It's just going to be absolutely amazing. I've been to a lot of seminars, so many seminars, and I think 3 days is a good time frame as well, because you can really take a lot in, and like I said, you have the time to implement as well, so you're not completely drained and reflecting too much. And we'll have exercises as well during the 3 days that will go into your unconscious mind, so they drive you further, and your conscious self, by writing things down and asking yourselves amazing questions, by asking yourself more significant, more varied, more meaningful questions that you can share the results with other people, and in the system that is there to develop your potential, then you're really going to get the most out of it. And keep your notes from the seminar, memorize them. I'm going to help you develop strategies where you've got something to take away from it. So you've got a plan of action to take away. So it's not just you have 3 days, you've got all these notes, you don't know what to do with it. But I'm going to really I'm going to be using some techniques that gets you really focused, so you know what you want. You might not know what your USP is, but if you know exactly who you want to serve, that's great. But then you need to find out strategies that you know who you want to serve. You have to be flexible enough so that you keep serving people in the way that you want. So you can't assume that you know what people want. You have to ask them as well. So your market research is important. So many different aspects to marketing. actually so passionate about learning about marketing that I'm just absorbing myself in it all the time. And there's never an end to learning. Even Jay Abraham, who is a real, and Dan Kennedy, who are marketing implementation geniuses. Jonathan Jay in the UK is pretty cool as well. Even these types of really successful people, there's never an end to their learning. They're always on the ball. They always want to know more. And look at the greatest coach in the world, Tony Robbins. The guy, the questions that he asks, he's been asking for decades. He just keeps asking and asking better questions every day, pushing himself to a higher level every day. This is really important for you to understand, that by choosing to attend this Chipmunk Publishing marketing implementation program, you're going to stand out from the crowd. You're taking yourself to a higher level, higher expectations, and even after the 3 days, it's not. Don't see that as the end of the program. You've got 30 days where I'm going to support you, and then I want you to be. I mean, there's never an end to learning. I want you to be self-sufficient, so you're so confident you just go into overdrive, and then then I'm reading about whenever I'm turn on my computer, I see you in the global news and say, oh yeah, that's cool. So this is what I want. Not that I have to search for your link and see what you're doing. I want to just go smack and see, wow. And it will be a fantastic event. And then even after the 3 days, you'll have such an experience that it's kind of like a herbal injection of great Chipmunk Publishing marketing implementation. And what I'm going to do to make it really special is have everyone in the States where they're really in a really nice place, and that's we're all responsible for the states that we're in, but we're going to have a great time together and enjoy it together and enjoy the people that we meet. And it'd be great if you can make friends out of it and keep in touch with people. I think that's important too, so you have another peer, someone who you have something in common with, and keep in touch. Several acquaintances, you can make friends for life out of it. It's really important. You might find, you could find a business partner out of it. You might find, who knows, relationships. Who knows? And I like the idea that we're all having the same conversation, doing the same exercises. We're all on point. Is a nice phrase, I think, of being on point, because the more together we are as a community, as a mental health publishing community, the better we're going to be able to service our clients and our people. And that is such a great feeling. It's a great what's the word? I think it's a great thing. It's just a great thing. That was the first thing that came to my mind. So it really is just a great thing. Fantastic feeling. It's a great opportunity for you to grow as a person, for you to help more people, to have an impact on the world, to make a difference to the global community and everything. And I'm so happy that you're listening to this. You listen to the whole thing. That's great. Please just leave a comment and say hello. Feel free to email us about it. and there will be another video about this event. I promise. Okay. Take care. Love you lots. Got to go. Okay. Take care. Love you lots. Thanks for listening. Jason Pegler. Over and out.